Everyone, how are you doing today? Today we're going to learn about present models of deductions. You can follow this presentation by going to your student book to page 132. Page 132. You're going to hear some voices or some stuff in the background and just listening to some music and it's on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the topic of today is present models of deduction. Right? Modals. Oh my god, bro. Modals. And let's use a sun light blue. All right. Well, we know what we mean by present. Obviously, means now, right? So we're gonna use verbs that are in the present. That's what present basically means. All right. Models. What do we remember? Remember the models? Yeah. Remember can, must, might, may. Yes, correct. Might, may. And in this case, we're going to be using could, and we're also couldn't or can't. Can't and can. You can also use couldn't sometimes, but we'll check that in a moment, all right? And obviously for each one, you could use a negative form as well. All right, that's what models mean, right? And deduction, well, what does that mean? And this is the important part of the topic. It basically means that you're gonna deduce something about a situation that happened. Well, what does that mean, teacher? That's not helping. Well, basically, it just means that you're gonna guess. You're gonna give an explanation of why something happened. So let's say your hair is crazy today, and your mama sees you or your papa sees you, and you have crazy hair. Well, they're gonna say something like, "Why is your hair crazy?" And they can answer this by themselves by using present models of deduction, saying, "Oh, you must be with your friends doing crazy stuff," or you probably were, well, not probably. Well, you can use probably too, but you're gonna say, "Oh, you might be sick because your hair is crazy," right? You might be sick, or I don't know, what's another one? Why is your hair crazy? I think that's a bad example. Let's try another one. Let's say you're tired, right? You're running and you're tired. You're like, well, somebody sees you in the street, and you're taking air, and they say, "Oh, you must be running, right? Oh, you must be doing exercise." Well, here's your first one. All right. What happens when you're 100% sure that something is true? Well, when you're 100% sure that something is true, you use must, right? Plus, and this is for most of them, a verb in the base form or in the normal form, right? Don't change it. So, for example, the verb to be, you put be. This is a you. All right, so let's say you're running and somebody sees you, it's like, "Oh, you must be doing exercise. You must be exercising." Let me erase this. You must be exercising. Now, if you notice, in this case, I changed the verb because we can also use the ing form. I'm gonna put a line right here. ing form when something is happening now, right? So it's happening right now. You must be exercising. Somebody's telling you now. But what happens when it's just these two? Well, I don't know. Maybe your mom, your grandmother. Let's see. You go to your grandma's house and she sees you and you're really skinny, right? And she says, obviously, You must be hungry, right? She's 100% sure be hungry. I'm gonna put this must, but plus be, plus, just changing color, base, so you know. You must be hungry, right? And you haven't eaten anything. So we use this when it's 100% sure. Now what happens when we are 100% or we're sure that it isn't true, right? Let's do this color again. 100%, but now it's false. Right? We know that it didn't happen. It's not possible, right? So one of your friends come and says, "Hey man, we saw a UFO and the aliens came and they said hi to us." Well, you probably hear this phrase a lot in the United States. Well, if you're in the United States, like some of you can't be serious. Right? You can also say couldn't. In this case, you can say you couldn't have. You couldn't have. Right? And obviously, we mean seen them, or you couldn't have said hi, etc. Right? And we're only taking into account this because it's the same structure as the other one. Can't, couldn't, plus the base form of the verb, right? Let's put another one. You can't be serious. You couldn't have. No pudiste haberlo hecho, no. I don't know, maybe your best friend who always gets 100% in all the tests gets a 90. Right? And you can say, oh, that can't be possible. Right? So again, these are 100% false. We know that it didn't happen. We use that as kind of like an amazement, saying like, oh my God, that couldn't have happened, or that's not true, or right? So what do you think is going to happen when we say that it's, half and half? Maybe when you think something is true, we're going to put half, because it's not 50%. You think it's true, but we are not sure, right? So kind of like, I can use use 50. Well, in this case, you use like any other may or might, right? And obviously, if you want to put negative, you want to put might not, and then you have your base form of the verb, right? I don't know. Let's say you're talking to your friend, and one of your friends says, "Hey, where's Jimmy?" And then they say, "Oh, Jimmy's at the party." And you know he's not at the party, but you're not sure, right? You say, he might be at his house, right? He might be at his house, but I'm not sure. Or he must be at his house. I didn't see him at the party. I didn't think he went. Obviously, you want to give a context or an explanation for this, okay? You want to say something in relationship to this, but this is basically the rule. He might be at his house. So basically, these rules are just for any explanation that you have no idea, or that you have some idea that you are 100% sure, that you're 100% sure didn't, or you have some idea, right? Where is... For example, if I ask you, where is Carlos? Oh, he might be in the United States. We don't know. He's being suspicious. He might be in Texas. He might be... And it doesn't have to be might be. It could be any other verb, right? He might uh, left school early, right? Or he may lost his wallet. That's why he's not paying any. That's why he's not paying with his money, etc. Right? It depends really on the context, right, of the sentence that makes the sentence make sense. I don't know if that you understand that. This only makes sense with another context. He might be at his house. Well, the context is you're looking for him, right? And you don't know where he is, so it's 50-50. All right, now we have one. Let me finish that. Now we have one when let's do with color. Let's keep our colors clean. Where it's possible. Not necessarily that it's 50-50, but that and let's use this. It may or could have happened. All right, may, could, and again, plus your base form. So in this case, I don't know, you want to play soccer with a friend, but, you know, I don't know, you call his mom and he's like, hey, is Pedro there? I want to play, I wonder if he could play soccer. And the mother doesn't know. She said, oh, he may be busy. Or he could already left to the game, right? So again, if we are 100% sure, right, we're 100% true, we used must. All right, and these are going to be very common using with be. It's not necessary, but it's very common, right? If you notice, they're everywhere. Be 100% false, can't, couldn't, 50-50, may, might, or that it's possible that something that they did or they didn't, right? Obviously, if you want to say this in the past, we can use must. Let me put another color. I'm taking too much time with this. I want to finish now. Past modals, so I'm going to put that past modal. You used must plus have, and it's going to sound like those must plus the present perfect or the past perfect that we saw last time, but no, these are just to give explanations of something that happened in the past, right? Must have plus, you guessed it, PP, correct, right? And this is when we are sure that it's 100% true, right? So you saw that alien and you saw your UFO and you lost 1 hour of your life. And obviously, you're pretty sure about this. It must have been aliens. The only reason why this is not a model perfect or perfect model is because we're not using it for model purposes, right? We're not giving somebody a rule or anything like that. We're giving a deduction. We're explaining something, right? Or why something happened. And this is when it's 100% true, but when it is 100% not true, when it's 100% not true, obviously you use can't or couldn't plus, I forgot the plus have. And guess again, that is correct. The PP is everywhere, right? And it's the same thing. Well, obviously you tell your friend about the aliens and your friend is a reasonable person and you say, well, obviously the aliens couldn't have done it, right? Or you can put can't. The aliens can't have done it. In this case, it happened in the past, but you can also use this for the past. For example, the scientists can't have found a new life form, or they couldn't have found. Obviously, with this one is the most common one for past because it's already in past. Right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're not bored, but that's how fast I can do this. Present models of deduction to explain something. Explain. Deduction, that's what it means, right? To explain something. 100% false, 100% true, 50-50, may, might, possible, may, could, and